Cindy Vogels, and I'm predominantly a costume designer in the music industry.
Awesome. Okay, Cindy, welcome on behalf of The Art Base, and thank you so much for letting us into your space and your home. The set design's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Such a pleasure. My name's Kayla, so I'll be interviewing you today, and yeah, pretty keen. I want to know everything about you. So start with the introduction, so who are you, what do you do, and who have you worked with?
I'm Cindy Vogels, and I'm predominantly a costume designer in the music industry. I probably get mistaken for a stylist because not everybody understands that I'm creating every single item from scratch.
Whoa.
And that is where I differ from stylists. So I basically engage with music artists, particularly because I love them, from all genres. And then we go through huge amounts of, just discussions and inspiration, and I extrapolate out of them how they want the world to see them.
Whoa.
And so it's very much a very personalized fashion and wardrobe experience that I get to be a part of for them.
That is amazing. I actually didn't realize that there was a difference between the stylist and what was the other term you used?
Well, I'm a wardrobe designer.
Wardrobe design. Yes, yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, that's really cool. So what do you love about being a designer and an artist, and how do you define successes in this field?
I think my favorite thing, especially currently, is making women in music more visible. Absolutely. It's like the ultimate contribution to such a sad state of things right now.
That's very personal. So would you say that success is defined in a completely in a personal, not a general view? Do you feel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. For me, it's not what the world sees, it's how I feel about every engagement with every artist that I work with, how I feel about the jobs, how I feel that I'm contributing to the world, how I balance it with my children's lives, how I get to, have days off when I don't feel well, and how I get to work really, really, really hard, ridiculously hard, when the job is so amazing that I'm addicted and I can't switch it off.
I was just about to say addicted as the word, because you do, when you get so invested in a project, the time just flies. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
There's no 9 to 5 when you're impassioned with a good project.
I love that. So with being an artist, there is this assumption that you can't do this full time, or, it can't be your bread-winning job. Why do you think that people make that assumption? Because
it is really hard. I think it's definitely really hard. I still have a 1 day a week part-time job, and even though I'm just getting into that safe zone where I probably could drop it out of fear and out of ritual, I will hold on to that just because you just never know what's around the corner. You don't know when there's going to be a bad week or a bad month, and at the moment especially.
It's like a piece of sanity almost, hey, having that little something that you
it's grocery money, and it's pretty important.
Yeah. Totally. Yes. Oh, cool. So what motivated you to turn your passion into a career and pursue all of these amazing experiences?
That's such a massive question.
It's huge.
I actually am very lucky because I knew from 8 years old that I was meant to do this.
Whoa.
But it still looks like a very, very chaotic ball of string to get from there to where I am now. Even knowing that I was meant to do this, and even being, I guess, naturally gifted quite young with specific skills, it was not just a straight line of, doors opening and successes at all.
So have you always been based in Brisbane, or have you sort of been able to travel? Or?
No, I actually was born and raised in Nambour, and then spent many years. I lived in Sydney, I lived on the Gold Coast, I've lived in Brisbane, I studied on the Gold Coast, I studied in Brisbane, I lived overseas for 10 years in the USA. So
wow.
I kind of like, I've been everywhere, and now I have a charming little house in the country, and I have my satellite studio here in Brisbane where I can service like all my Brisbane and Gold Coast clients. I haven't travelled to Sydney since actually last year during COVID, when we shot the Jaguar Jonze film clip series. Yeah, we shot all of Anti-Hero in Sydney in one full week.
Wow.
And but I haven't travelled since then. So, and I don't know when I'll travel again. But
the heart's open.
But yeah, I'm very kind of fine with like moving around and making things work. And I try to just be really strategic and frugal about, you know, if I'm going to Brisbane for a client, I'll try to, you know, bundle that in with as many other people that I can see as possible.
You have to get your value for time. Yeah.
Sure.
Efficiency.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So what has been a defining moment in your career?
My Lady Gaga moment.
When? Why? How?
In 2014, I was just hand sewing this crazy millinery piece in my studio in Gympie, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I finished it, and I took a photo, posted it on Instagram. I had 200 followers. I didn't even know how to use Instagram.
Whoa.
I think I used maybe 3 hashtags, and the next morning there was an email from New York, and I was engaged, and for the next 4 to 5 months I was part of the international contributing design team for the Cheek to Cheek tour that she did with Tony Bennett.
Oh
and I was published like 5 months after the first email by Lady Gaga on her Instagram page.
Wow.
And that was my springboard moment into music.
How do you think that your younger self would have reacted, like knowing this now?
I kind of wish that I wish that I did know when I was younger, because I think I would have like worked like way harder when I was younger to make that happen in my 20s.
Legit, yeah. But you know, because I know actually that is something that a lot of the young artists around me really fear, that they don't hit this certain level of like success or something, you know, while they're young. Yeah. So do you have like any sort of encouragement like about just being more calm about your journey?
I think the coolest thing looking back is that if you just consistently keep doing really amazing work at any level, like whether it's, you know, once a week and you're running, like you're working for someone, or you have a business, or you're busy doing something else, just keep creating, because when you look back and you have created, you know, an amazing body of work, nobody can ever take that away from you.
Exactly.
You know, they can't. Like it lives, and it's your creative legacy. It's actually it's such a gratifying experience to look back on your body of work.
Totally.
And I even appreciate the first items of clothing that I made when I was 15 years old, like seeing them in photos that were like little photo shoots and things.
I made that.
And, you know, back then I was just sewing and having fun. But with every year that passes, I look back and I think, oh my God, I was amazing. And it really, really does contribute to a wonderful sense of self.
Yeah.
It's very good for us.
Sense of self, I love that so much. Talked about our positives. What has been your biggest struggle in your artistry, or perhaps a crazy job that...
Probably my right dead foot.
Oh, right now? In this interview. Shake it out.
I just have to do a stretch.
That's funny.
You know, like all of a sudden it's just like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I'm actually crippled. Don't ask me another question or I might faint.